Hello, I am Jackie McIlroy, and we are here at ODTUG Kscope23, and I am with Connor McDonald. You are a developer advocate at Oracle, correct?
That's correct. Developer and database advocate, because I have two roles. One is to encourage the prosperity and success of people using the database technology, and also to reach out to developers, generally the younger generation of developers, to get them interested in Oracle.
And we certainly appreciate it. You are a constant fixture at user group and Oracle conferences all around the world. What makes it so important for you to keep coming back to these events?
I like the fact that you say constant fixture, like I'm just like someone that loiters
You're
around.
You're even doing 7 sessions at this conference alone.
I feel like some vagrant that's lingering around conferences, just trying to creep in without anyone
No,
noticing.
you're a very welcome guest.
I love coming to user groups, and sort of, not to try and bore the audience, but in terms of a little bit of backstory, when I was first working with a bit of Oracle technology, I won't say exactly when, but it was some decades ago, I had a sufficient ego to think, I really know what I'm doing here. I've mastered the product. And I went to my first user group event just on a sort of a casual basis, just to go along. And one of the speakers there was doing a talk on 20 most common mistakes people make with their database. And I sort of strolled in thinking, I know my stuff. And by the end of his talk, I'd ticked off 19 of the 20. I said, I'm doing 19 of the 20 wrong things you're not meant to do. And that was a good but humbling experience. I thought, here I was thinking that in the isolation of my own company, or the company I worked for, I suddenly realized that unless you are involved with other people in the community, you're in this little silo where the things you think are good might be the worst possible thing you can do.
You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly right. And so that was a real revelation for me. I thought, wow, there's this community of people out there that could help me be more successful and prosper, and ultimately help my company that I'm working for be more successful. And so I joined the Australian user group, started going to those events, and then my wife at the time and I, we migrated to the UK in 1999 for the Y2K bug, hoping to make some money on contracting. That didn't pan out so well in terms of making money, but I joined the UK Oracle user group and sort of plucked up some courage and did my first talk there in 2000. And that went reasonably well. I didn't realise that profanity wasn't appreciated as much in the UK as it was in Australia. So I got a phone call from the organiser afterwards saying, the session went very well, but they did say you swore a lot, thus establishing a reputation. So literally from that point onwards, I thought there is so much benefit to just being involved in something which is bigger than yourself, bigger than your company. And so it's an absolute privilege to come to these events, because for every person that submits a paper to these events and gets to come, which is hopefully sometimes me, there's a whole lot of people that were desperate to come to the event and speak at the event and missed out.
Yes.
Because they're so popular and such demand. So I feel tremendously privileged to be able to speak at these events, and that's why every time the travel gods deign upon me that they'll fund the ability for me to come, I'll come to any user group event that would have me, because there's so much value in there, not as a speaker, but in just being part of the bigger community, because all you do is learn. So.
Yeah, and we are tremendously grateful to have you come to our conference. And like I said, you're doing 7 sessions here. A few of those sessions seem to be about the new 23C, but every database release claims to have great features. So why is 23C any different from any other release?
And that's an excellent point. And I'm as guilty as anyone else. A new database comes out, you go read the new features guide, you get all excited about stuff that didn't exist before, and you want to talk about it. And it's a valid point that you would say, well, this happens every 2 years. Why the big fuss about 23C? Why are you doing 2 talks on it? And for me, the fundamental difference is every time Oracle as a company has released a database product, the general mindset has been, here we are, it's been internal for a long time, it's been under lock and key, it's secretive. Anyone that beta tests Oracle database signs an NDA. And then it comes out to the community, and we say, there it is, there's our product. We'd like you to start using it. And the entire community, developers, DBAs, etc., say, this is the first we've seen it. It's the first time we've actually managed to touch it, and you're telling us we should jump in and use it. And that's a challenge for anyone in the community, because first I have to know how to install it, then I have to learn how to get it configured, and then now I can start learning about it And psychologically, there's this sort of pressure coming from Oracle and anyone else in the community saying, you want to be on this release, it's the place to be. And they're going, oh, I just can't.
It's a huge risk.
Exactly. 23C, Oracle, we like to think that we're, innovative and forward-thinking, but sometimes we move a bit slowly. But I think we've really made a good jump here, is that 23C, the version you can currently get today, is called a developer release. We call it database free. But to use the metaphor of agile parlance, you could think of it as minimum viable product. We took all the core features that we think developers will absolutely love in 23C, made them production ready, put them into a release and said, there you go.
It's so awesome.
So it's literally out there for people they can use today. And it's not like, oh, this is the version you should be upgrading to today. This is a version out there for you to learn, to build, to explore, to become an expert in this release. And the full GA release, including cloud, will probably come out within the next 12 months. But when it does, it's not going to catch people by surprise. They're going, oh, I've been playing with this for 9 months, 12 months, whatever. I know exactly how I'm going to exploit these features. I know the pitfalls, I know the opportunities. And so now we've adopted this model where with 23C going onwards, by the time it's ready and people to build production systems on it, they're 9 months into the cycle. So I think that's a really intelligent thing for us to do, and hopefully it really benefits the community as well.
It's a really great strategy, and it's amazing what you're doing here. And I really appreciate you being with us today, and thank you so much.
It's a delight to be here.